This is intake. This is a celebratory beer. Why? Because Project Z has been painted. So even though it doesn't look like it because the car is absolutely filthy, we've just had the car repainted. We've had a new 2000 model front end installed, a Twin Z front lip installed. All the damage has been repaired. There's a couple of little shopping cart dings still in there that we've sort of missed. And it's ready to be, you know, post panel shop cleaned up. Like it's been machine buff. We need to give it another wash because of the dirt and the rain, and as you can hear, the rain. And it needs to be hand polished to get rid of any swirl marks that are remaining. The interior needs to be cleaned up because there is panel shop dust filling it all up everywhere. And we're not going to do that today because it's raining. So we're fucking that idea right off. None of the outside's going to be cleaned up. We're going to start by removing the old window tint and show you guys how to save a bit of money, because I need new window tint because this old 1990s blue shit is starting to bubble, and that needs to be fucked right off. Get some new black window tint installed, and when you ring up a window tint mob and they'll be like, oh yeah, your window tint's like 250 bucks. Oh yeah, I've also got some old window tint on there. Oh, that's like another 120 bucks to remove. You know how hard that is to remove? It's fucking easy. So we're gonna do that today. That's my plan. Anyway, we all know that these plans never sort of eventuate as they're supposed to. Depending on the size of your car, window tint removal should be a 2 to 3 beer job. 2 beers for a coupe, 3 beers for something bigger. 4 or 5 beers if you've got a bus. That's a 2 plus 2 in these things. So to begin with, I'm going to start with the easy door. Because this doesn't have a pillar along the top here, I've got a good edge where I can get to the tint. So I need one thing for that. Not this. Razor blade. Oh, if you're really skilled like me, you should be able to get this off in one piece. I've already saved myself like 20 bucks already, just by making this edge. Alright, just run the knife the other way. And just being careful not to run the very corner of the blade into the glass. You don't want to scratch your glass. Now there'll be some window tinters in the comments saying, yeah, but we don't just charge because you can remove the tint. I know you can remove the tint and leave a whole heap of shit behind. Oh no! Well, it's not in one piece anymore, but it's not the end of the world. See how it's purple? That's how you know it's from the 90s. But we're bringing this into the noughties. So as you remove each piece, you just fuck it right off and keep going. Like I said, just be careful not to scratch the glass. This is why they charge you money. Because they scratch the glass for you, you pay them. You don't. That's useless. Taking off a little piece like that is no good. So obviously, you can't just peel the tint off and like go into your local tint place and say I need new tint, because they're going to say, hey, this has got shit all over it. So you need something to peel to take the glue off. And I've got something for that too. But you can polish your glass if you scratch it. So this is the last edge that I've had removed. So I want to try and keep everything intact here. But at least I kept it all in one piece. And that's how you fuck off the entire tint on the passenger side window and spill your beer over. I had a sharper blade, this would be a little bit easier. I think I do have a sharper blade. I'll have to get it out. That's what she said. Good to do it. It was, look, I didn't realise how purple this tint was. The 90s was a strange time. Could be worse. I can't get that last bit off. This is what you're paying for when you're getting people to remove the tint for you. Look, I haven't made this look too difficult though. Like, so far. Like a couple of minutes into this job. Other jobs would be finished by now. One's in the bedroom. Alright. So that's pretty much all the tint gone. So now what we have to do is just piss off all the glue that's on the window. And for that, I have this. Orange Power. Sticky Spot and Goo Dissolver. You could use these for some of the other cars that I've bought. Quite a number of sticky spots and some goo left over from the previous owners. Really wash away some of the stains from previous girlfriends and some of your cars at home. Not my cars. My cars are too small for lady folk to do the forbidden dance in. So what I've done is put some of that sticky spot goo dissolver stuff onto this cloth. Give it a bit of a wipe down. Just like that. I've made a mess of the glass. I think I've got the wrong cloth. Pink's the colour to use on windows, not blue. So, what you do, like keep working from, don't start a new spot, work from the spots you've sort of started on, because it works into itself. This is why the window tint mobs reckon it costs a fortune to remove tint, because of the glue that's left over later on. But like we've done like a hand-sized bit already, and like it's not even lunchtime yet. It's not even lunchtime yet. But it's lunchtime somewhere. See, it's at this stage, approximately 3.5 minutes into this job, that I've realised that maybe if I'd spent an extra $100 on window tinting, that they could have done this for me, and I wouldn't feel like I'd be wasting my own time. But I digress. If I close the door, you can see the difference already. It's still pitch black in there, so I really haven't made much of a difference at all. Just looks filthy. So what I need to do is work cloth and razor blade in tandem. So get the old cloth out. Oh, run over an edge. Oh shit, actually that's coming off really, really easily at the top there. Make a bit of a mess, sort of start to dissolve the glue. Get the old razor blade out. Dissolve some of the glue off. I feel like I'm really saving my money here, not overexerting myself either. All right, got to the end of that glue section. Get out a bit more of that glue remover. So this is why we wanted to do this job first before we clean up the interior post paint job, because we're getting little bits of jism everywhere. So we just about finished our first window. It really wasn't that hard. Spilled half my beer and I've still got a little bit left over. So we've just got a little bit of the glue left over down the side here. So what you want to do, just well lubricate your pink bits and just stick a finger in there and just gently give it a rub up and down. Just remembering to keep it well lubricated. Just keep an eye on it and you'll know when it's ready. That looks pretty happy. Same in the other tight corners. Down the edge there, So once you finish giving it a polish, you want to give the window a good thorough clean because you don't want to leave any of your sticky bits in your crevices. So I'll get the window cleaner out. So before I use my Auto Glim Fast Glass for cleaning the rest of the grime off here, I'm going to use a wax and grease remover because that just does a real good job of taking over the remnants of that glue off the glass. There's actually some shit on that side too. There we go. Give it a good clean. And then we'll use a fast glass to give the glass a proper clean. But how's that? That just takes everything. That's probably better than the bloody orange, isn't it? Whoa! This is where you're saving your money. Fucking hell, that's a real good job there. Work smart, not hard. So now that we've finished cleaning up the front, we're going to take our goo dissolver and our beer to the back door. Hatch, back hatch. Not entering through a door here. So some would say that the rear window is the hardest one in the car because of the amount of demister lines on there that you can peel up while removing the tint. But then they haven't been a normal sized person and fucked around with the rear quarter windows. So I'm going to warm myself up by removing this and then making my way towards those two, which really do frighten me more than I'm scared of my wife who's upstairs. I just know she's got a scour on her face knowing that I'm down here playing with cars instead of looking after kids. It's not vindictive at all. Right, this one should be quite easy though because there's quite a number of bubbles here, which is why I've been prompted to just remove this tint in the first place. Well, there's no point looking at it like a fat kid looks at Kate. We're not here to fornicate with spiders. Fornicate's word of the day and it's a play on word of fucking spiders. Let's fuck this tint right off. So because there's no edge that I can get to here without removing all the interior trim, what I'm going to do is get my knife into one of these bubbles, make a break, and slowly start removing this tint. Really don't want to rip anything. Oh fuck, is that all I got out of that? Well, this might take a little bit longer. Every time I come to the back of this car, it's like I end up needing more beers than I should. This is going to take some time. Right, what I really need to do is just get like one real decent sized bit of tint. Well, that's better than what I started with, I guess. But you know it'd be easier than this? Like if I just put a rock through this window, I could get a new window installed. And that comes with new demister lines and no tint. But I won't do that, because it's naughty. Really making some great strides here. Once you get going, you'll really get going. Don't forget to take breaks, not to overexert yourself. So like all good stories on YouTube, the plot has indeed thickened. This window tint is not one, but 2 layers of window tint. So what's happened is, the windows had been tinted maybe from factory, I don't know. And someone's decided to not save a bit of money and remove the tint themselves and not pay the extra money and have the tint removed. They've tinted over the top of the tint. It's double layer purple tint. This is like the bolts that go to nowhere, the wiring for nothing. Everything that has been dodgy in this car has come back to bite me in the ass now that I've got to remove 2 layers of tint off these demister lines. Look at that, 1 layer of tint. Whoa, lo and behold, there's another fucking layer of tint. So if I said earlier that being a coupe, this might need 2 beers, this is probably going to need 3 or 4 now that this is going to give me the shits. It's going to fuck me right off. Never before have I been fucked right off. I've got to get in deep underneath the tint with the razor blade to get a big enough section off there to peel up 2 layers of tint at a time. Now, the razor blade's also clogging up. There's a brewery up the road that opens in about 15 minutes. I reckon we might need to take a break. So what I've done is gotten in the car to get myself comfortable because I think I'm going to have to be in here for quite a little bit of time. I've got the glue dissolver in here to try and dissolve the 2 layers of glue because this is near impossible to remove. It's almost worth, but no, it's not worth. Save your money. We're going to do this. But I can tell you, the smell in here is horrendous. The 30 years of glue from the 1990s, I guess, an 89 model, has been trapped in here. And I guarantee you that Kenji Fukuoka, who installed this original tint in Japan in 1989, was smoking like a big packet of mild 7s when he put this. It stinks, it's so bad. But the orange glue dissolver's probably going to get rid of all that smell anyway, but oh, it's just foul. If you smell as a woman, you'd kick her out of bed, or bloke, whatever you're into. It doesn't bother me. Oh, hang on, I've got an edge. Literally an edge. That was all I got. Come on, window tinting gods, give me something. Hot tip for anyone playing along at home: don't install tint over tint. I know there's a few people out there with Commodores that are doing it right now. Drink beers, have ideas. I've taken a pair of pliers and a razor blade and a bit of electrical tape and MacGyvered myself this handy tint remover. It's doing a much better job of the old razor blade in my fingers. I do realise you can buy window tint blades like this, but you know, why spend money when you don't have to? Now, it's a pretty cold day today, so the window tint's not exactly playing along by the rules. So what we've got is the missus's favourite hairdryer. And we're going to run that in front of where the blade is. Focus on an area, get the glue nice and warm, and it'll make it a bit easier to peel this up. So if you're having a bit of trouble along at home, you live somewhere a bit of a cooler climate, Antarctica, you might find this helps. There is, however, one downside. Your blade seems to get a lot of junk in its trunk. There's a lot of glue getting stuck in the blade. It's nowhere near as sharp as it should be after a couple of passes. A little bit of time spent cleaning your blade is a hell of a lot of time saved fucking around with this thing. Now that we've removed the tint from the rear window and I'm finished my first beer, you can see that we've got quite a bit of glue there to remove. So just like the front window, what we're going to do is get our sticky spot and goo dissolver, put it on our cloth and start wiping away any trace of that sticky goo that we've left all over the car. Also good use for in the bedroom. If you need to remove tint off your bedroom window. Just like that, people can see how many cases of beer you're smuggling into a local football game. Luckily we've got this blind in here. On to the quarter windows next. So it's a little bit tight in the rear quarter window here, so the best approach is through the rear entry. Not what she said. So what I'm going to do is make a bit of an incision into the glass because I haven't got much of an edge here, and try and just peel a little bit of a corner, and then we'll work our way back and try and take the rest off there. See how we go. Might have to use a bit of heat with that hairdryer, but got to be careful. There's a lot of broken razor blades in here. It's like a night out at the My Chemical Romance concert. Get rid of those. Oh no, lost a bit of a corner there. I think I've got my blade. This one's a lot easier than the rear window. Oh, it's like recharging. And just like that, We fucked off the window tint from that first quarter window. No more than 69 seconds, I might add. And I reckon taking this glue off is going to take about half that time, which is what I also take to take the glue off, is what I was getting at. No innuendo there. I'm already in the endo of this car. Oh fuck, that would be funny if I picked up the wrong one, put it on my cloth and drank this one. The best thing about doing this kind of job in your car is you get to practice your yoga at the same time. These are all kinds of different positions that I haven't tried before. In the marriage life, I only get to try the one position. It's like the missionary, lights off. And that's how you know things are squeaky clean. Looks bloody good. Oh, let's have a look at that. Window tint everywhere. Because I've saved about 50 bucks window. 20, maybe 25 bucks on this one, because it's smaller. Really probably have saved like 150 bucks by doing this myself. So all we got to do now, just do the driver's side too. The driver's side big window, the driver's side small window, so big window, small window. And then it's ready for new window tint. Key to doing this job is not to telling your window tinter that you've done it, because no matter what you've done, it won't be good enough. So, but every time I've gone in to get my window tinting done, I've never told them that I remove the tint myself, and they've never said anything about it either. Because you just got to do a real good job of it. But if you tell them, they'll be like, ah, you didn't do a good job, even though you've done like a really good job. And they'll make you pay for window cleanup, and no one wants that. Now this is how you want to be traveling. One piece, all the layers, no glue left behind. If I keep going like this, I'll be onto a bloody good thing. Well, you can only piss with the dick you've got, and you'll seem to have fucked this one up, so nearly got it all in one piece. Combo breaker. Oh, that's not bad for one shot. One opportunity, once in a lifetime. That's how you save about 150 bucks, or when you go back to the tinters to get your windows re-tinted. So that brings us to you, the audience. Should we leave Project Z with the clear windows? I like the clean glass, it looks nice and clean all the time. Window tint always has a bit of a dirty film look to it. So here we've got like this clean okay, well it's not exactly clean, but you could imagine it clean. The window tinting, the lack of window tinting looks fantastic. So do we re-tint them? And we're going to go dark if we tint it. It's got to be black. Australia, very, very, very hot. Or, not like today though, very cold. Or, do we leave it off? It's going down to you guys, the viewers. Next episode, we have to do our post-paint shop clean. We're going to do that in 2 stages. We're going to do an interior clean. That's why we've done the window tint in this episode, because we made a hell of a mess in there, and on myself. Get rid of all that window tint, all the panel shop dust. Give the interior a bit of a makeover, and then we're going to move on to the outside once we've got a bit of a nicer day. So don't forget to hit that like button, I think it's here-ish, the subscribe button, and there's a bell notification that lets you guys know when we upload videos. Also, I like it when you comment below. I want to hear from you whether we are going to re-tint the windows, whether we black them out, murder the car, or we leave them nice and crystal clear. Also, I want to know your favourite colour. Mine's green. So there's that. Goodbye. And with the finished result, you can see our cameraman. and me. Yeah, he's a cameraman, so we can't show his face on TV.